Now that you have clicked on this video, let us look on the 3 worst careers that you can get yourself into business with. And guess what? I did not say that by default of you having these 3 careers with me, that now if you start a business will fail. No, all what I'm saying is that these careers actually have some of the effects that can have on you when you get started on the business. Because let me tell you one secret. They always say that we tend to think on where we dwell most. That's the most cases. And what we have studied actually affects on what we get into the business. The understanding of this video is motivated by the fact that some of the people are getting out of the employment and they are getting into the business. And what you've studied as your career and the exposure that you have has a direct effect on the business that you're getting started with. So I want you to approach this video with an open mind, with a liberal understanding, so that at least you understand why I'm actually explaining these points. Because guess what? I have actually received couple of calls from different people using or with the same careers that they're telling me they want to get started with the business, but they tend to hold back because the way they are or what they studied or what motivates them. All right. So if you are a teacher out there, don't crucify me on the sections. If you are all the kind of guys that I'm going to discuss here, don't crucify me on the comment section. All right. And by the way, I usually post a video each and every day concerning investment, about business ideas, about all those kind of things. If you didn't love to miss any good of my future videos, or if you would love to get each and every future of good videos that I'm gonna post here, do this. It doesn't cost you anything. It is free and it is fast. Down below there on your right, there is a button written subscribe. It is in black. Hit that magical button and then it disappears. Turn the notification bell and give this video a thumbs up. And by the way, by only doing that, a whole YouTube, it will notify you that Good Joseph has uploaded a new good video. So let's get into the today's business. Now, what's that number 1 career that if you have that can have a direct effect on the business? All right. And that is none other than, you guessed it right. That is teachers. And let me tell you one thing. If there are people who are amazing, good, and actually aspire, and they have the aspiration of starting business, and they invest and they try some businesses, they are the teachers. But let me tell you one thing. This career can actually hold you back in terms of you investing. And let me tell you one thing. I tried to get into a partnership with a teacher. And the challenges that the teachers face with respect to the business is this. These are people who are actually regarded as the moral, disciplinarians in life. They are the people who actually instill discipline in us. They are the people who caught us when we are as young as we were and actually they left us as big as we are or as an adult. So you realize these are the kind of people who we tend to, hold a high moral up values towards them. These are the people we believe that they are perfectionists. We believe that they are people who actually, they love to do things in a perfection way. The reason as to why this can actually hold you towards starting a business is this. These people, we usually call them, they are more theoretical than in real life. Another thing is that you find that the teachers, they tend to be these guys who are so much perfect. They actually look for the correct answers. They look for the correct answer. That's why they give you a question, then you have to put a correct answer. And if you do not give an answer or rather a correct answer, they give you a wrong. And what does it mean? The whole system of education, it actually compares a cat and a fish to swim, all right? But then if you do so, then a cat will live to believe that they are stupid. The point is this: education is amazing, it is good, it opens people's mind. But the thing is this: when you tell me to give you an answer and then I give you a wrong one, then it's not regarded as an answer. But then if it is, then it's regarded as a wrong answer. In that process, they tend to look for the perfect answers, do things by your own self and all those kind of things. So that mentality that they instill on people, in most cases, you find that education, they usually kill talents and all those kind of things. So if you get into the business, or if you want to get yourself into the business of these kind of people, I remember when we were getting into partnership with this individual, they told me to write a business plan, explain how the business will work, what are the challenges we're going to face and all those kind of things. They tend to overlook some things. And by the way, if you tend to kind of eliminate all the risks when you're starting a business, then you're not a business person, because you'll never get all the factors right and appropriate for you to start any venture or any business out there. So teachers tend to actually make sure that you try all the factors are included, and explain to me how sure are we that we aren't gonna fail in this business. How sure are we that everything is okay, and how sure are we that you've considered all the factors? And by the way, did you consider the competitor? And by the way, what are the weaknesses? And by the way, did you actually find out what are the the markets are proportions in this area and those kind of things? So when you tend to overlook all these things, not really overlook, but when you tend to over investigate them, you always get the answer why. You always get that one reason why you should not get started. And at that particular point, you'll keep on saying, I'll try this, I'll try this, I'll try this, I'll try it. And by the time you realize you're going to retire, you have not ever started any business. By the time you're going to retire, then you're like, oh my goodness, I think now I should get started into a business. All right. And that's why you find there's some careers, there's some businesses, there's some investments that actually resonates with teachers. Teachers resonates well with businesses like, some of them do farming, okay? Some of them actually get started with circles, investments and shares and what have you. They resonate well with the teachers. Some teachers get into the real estate. If you have the capacity, you can take a loan all the way when you are young. You can take like a 4 million loan, and then from there you get started with the real estate. You can build some few houses. So by the time you're going to retire, you already have your home, and also you have some asset that you can actually make some money from, all right? Some teachers also resonate with things to do with the pension plans, the policies, the insurance policies and what have you. So there are areas that they can be actually to exploit. But if you want to get started into business with the teacher, some of the things that you hold on to, you have to shake them so that they do not become an effect to your business. All right. And number two, this is none other but the BA, or the business administration holders in this category. Yeah, I know they'll be like, hey, you know what, we started business in our universities and what have you, hey, and all those kind of things. But the point is this: studying about business and actually doing business are two different things. That's a reality. And probably some people have never told you the truth. You see, what you studied in university and all those kind of things are quite different from what is actually represented on the ground. Sometimes I did post a video and I asked people, would you prefer to take or get an advice or consultation from an individual who has actually done the business, on the ground, or somebody who has went to the university and they have their masters on the same? And of course, I won't give the answer on that. Of course, you know who you can go for as far as the advising and consultations are concerned. So the point is this: they are business administration individuals. They tend to have this entitlement. They tell you, hey, you know what? I studied business in university, have masters of the business and all those kind of things. They were actually starting business on the books and all those kind of things. They have studied the theory about that specific thing. You know what? These kind of people, they are amazing because they give you the theory aspect of the business. Because even the business, there is a theory aspect of it and there is a practical aspect of it. Actually, you thinking that you can start a business, writing a business plan down, studying that business and selling that conceptualization or selling that idea to your heart is way far different from actually going to the ground, executing that specific business, and you realize that all what you studied as far as the business administration is concerned is quite different from what you're actually seeing on the ground. And by the way, sometimes I get to ask myself, these guys who teach businesses in university, they say they are professors in business and somebody doesn't have any business. Now you wonder, what kind of a business are they teaching? All right, it's more theory and all those kind of things. And if you were to sit with them on a panel and they explain to you why and how the business can fail or maybe work on something of sort, you'll be amazed with the terminology that they're throwing out there and those kind of things. Did I say that they should not start a business? No, I did not say. What I said is this: go beyond your qualification as far as the papers are concerned. Go to the ground, test the water. Sometimes it's good to behave as if you never went to the school. You want to start yourself a hardware, go to the people who are actually doing that business all the right there. All right, you go there, interact with them, talk to them, get to understand how they operate the business, where they get the raw materials and all those kind of things. And then from there, and only there, is the place that you can actually go ahead and know exactly what you've been holding back is not actually the best thing. And actually what they're doing is what can actually go there and help you. So business administration is an amazing course, is an amazing career, but again, go beyond it so that when you're starting a business, you already know where you're heading. Or otherwise, if you just rely on the career that you're having, then that's gonna get you into problems. All right, and the last one but not the least is about the engineers. Of course, you know these people are amazing. They make a very great difference in our society. They are the people who transform and change this place that we live in. So the point is this: now these guys, one thing that you're supposed to understand with them, and if you, by the way, I were to give you a pen and paper and tell you to list all the characteristics of these guys, you'll tell me they are perfectionists. They try things before they execute an idea out there, and they actually make sure that they, for example, take this example. You're coming up with a car. These guys, they'll try as much as they can. They try all the options out. All right, if the Kogan, they try everything to make sure that this car, when it goes on the road, everything will be in place, everything will be okay, and there is nothing cases of the breakdown. And if there is a breakdown, this is how you can approach it. So they spend most of the time trying to perfect on that specific gadget before they put it out there. Yeah, I know you may argue from the point of they're trying to do so that they can be able to cap accidents and all those kind of things, which is very true. But let me tell you one thing. If there's people who are required, or if there is a career that requires you to be a little bit careless, and I say careless in some quote unquote, it is business. What does it mean? If you sit down and pen and paper and try to eliminate all the factors surrounding that specific business, you'll find yourself not getting started, because this is money. And remember one thing, we human beings, we have a sentimental attachment towards our money. And whenever we are sitting down with pen and paper trying to find out some of the factors that can actually make us not realize the profit, then you are likely to withhold back actually executing that specific idea. And then the thing with business is this: I always tell people, for you to get started with business, you need to have 2 qualifications. And one qualification is that you must be a risk taker individual. You must have a certain aspect of risk tolerance. If you do not, then being business is not your business. And again, the other point, or the other aspect that you need to have in your life, you need to be kind of a crazy person. Business people are this kind of individual who can just sit down and wake up early in the morning and they say, hey, you know what? I just have an idea. And was it, I'm gonna import Pampers from a certain country and all those kind of things. Then you are like, a whole container of Pampers? Yes, they tell you, yeah, that's true. So the point is this, that if you are an engineer, they tend to hold back with the ideas because they tend to perfect everything. They tend to make sure that they are sure on what they are doing, which is an amazing thing. Can you imagine this? If engineers do not hold that kind of a character and we entrust them in building these high rises that we usually live on, definitely it means that we're going to get ourselves into problems. And I always say it is good to have these people as consultants rather than having them as business partners. And if you are having them as the business partners, don't put them on the helm of the running of that specific businesses, because whenever you want to make a stride in the business, they tend to hold you back. They ask you, hey, have you considered this? Did you consider this? Did you consider the other? I prefer having this kind of individuals on the technical aspect of the business. Let's say we are making like things like springs. If you can put them on the technical aspect of that business where the springs are being made, tell them, hey, you know what? I would love you to supervise and make sure that we get the best springs that are out there. They will be able to perform that specific thing. But if you put them on the helm of the company and offer them the opportunities to be like controllers or the CEOs and that kind of a things, they can be a little bit technical in that area. But again, I stand corrected. We do have some engineers who are very amazing and they stand at the helm of the companies. But the business administration, they are very good at running companies because they know how they can be able to organize people, because this business thing comes with what we call the psychology aspect of it. Even teachers actually perform, or they become a very nice and beautiful CEOs in our companies or in our countries or wherever you guys come from. And guess what? That is not but the end of this specific video, but the beginning of other sweet good videos in the future. So if you don't want to miss a point, make sure that you subscribe to this channel and let's move to the next level. I'll leave my number in the description of this specific video. So if you would like to have a conversation with me, you can grab that number, give me a call. I offer those services pertaining to consultation and what have you for only a cup of coffee. All right. And I also have booklets about investments for only 280 Kenyan shillings. For now, it's a goodbye and see you in the next one.